too loud, but who knows? Hello. Hello. I am about to start. Just getting stuff set up. Um yeah, so today I'm thinking of having us start with a word or an idea, more of a concept. So I have been really into the idea of using a mouse tracker to make a painting while playing a video game. Maybe it's an excuse just to play a video game and make art. See, my job is to make art. That tends to be my job. Either that or teach people how. So to do this, I often find ways to do everything I want to do and make art. But there doesn't really need to be that much responsibility on it. So we're going to start by trying to figure out why a mouse tracker is so interesting to me. My ears are like blocked from my headphones. But like, I'm just the idea of painting. So painting, I use a brush or two to make marks on a canvas. And in life, that's pretty much like the biggest analog, you know? This, you tap down on something and it makes an impact. So that's why the title of this is like about impact. But I would say no thank you. But I would say that the way that we can lost my train of thought. Thank you very much, bot. I would say that the way we can take on this word impact is maybe go into the idea that a mouse tracker is something that tracks the force and energy put into whatever you're doing digitally. So, you know, like we're looking for like digital input, or we're looking for remote control, which I kind of started off in this space where I found a wait, which button is it? Yeah, this one. I found a really old remote control that reminds me of like the remote control for this TV in my basement. It's 600 early television remote control. Where's it from? What year? 2007 was when it was uploaded. I was like, 2007, that's pretty recent. I think Zenith Space Commander. I'm using Wikipedia. That's my credible source. You know, crowdsourced information. Zenith Flashmatic remote control, invented by Eugene Poley, another engineer at Zenith, was the first wireless remote control. So I guess that's why it's called the Space Commander, because you're commanding space. Speaking of which, Space Tarkov is coming out today, at least the public playtest, and I'm so excited. But seems like by the time of his retirement from Zenith, officially in 1982, Adler was the company's vice president. What? Okay, 1960s modified the remote control. So it must have come out in the 50s, where it doesn't like tell us. But he... Oh. Strange. Is this what the Zenith looked like? This is a Zenith, and then this is the one when he was like vice president, I'm sure. You know, 50s to 80s. But yeah, so I think that there's something really powerful about the idea that we have all these tools that allow us to wirelessly or digitally communicate things. Let me double check. Okay, yeah, my mic is picking up. That's the important thing. Too bad the bot can't tell me. But this all started because the other day I was thinking about how I wanted to learn to program a program that would take my mouse input from like playing a first-person shooter, and or any other type of game too. Like I've been playing some MOBAs lately because I got really into Fault, and now there's an Overprime playtest going on, and third-person shooters or third-person MOBAs are really interesting. But that, like, in my head, I'm like, that must create a different picture than the like fast-paced motion of something like Apex. Or maybe it creates a different picture than, say, like an RTS or like a top-down like rogue, like, you know, there's so many different ways we use our remote in games to interface with a world that isn't ours. The same way that I do as a painter, you know, like observing things. So my main discipline as an artist, for anyone who doesn't know, is I am a painter and I teach painting at a university, and I have a lot of experience with a lot of other types of art forms, but I spend a lot of time creating 2D images from life. So I observe stuff. I like to look at things. I think my Instagram bio for a really long time was I look at stuff. And it still holds true. I look at stuff. What stuff? Who knows? But that idea of our eyes receiving information from out there, you know, you're watching me, you see the background, you see my hand coming towards you. I'm on a 2D plane, you know, like I create shape all around me. But to navigate that as a painter, I use a paintbrush and paint to interpret that signal, that image, that vision. So what happens if I think of that interpretation as an impact? So as like sensory information that came at me, and then I get to see it and its results on the page. And so the rabbit hole I went down was I went from remote controls, because I was like, you know, a mouse is basically a remote control, especially now that we have wireless ones, though I use a wired. Mostly for cost. I would definitely get a wireless version of this. This one's like the only one big enough for my hand, though. It's the G502. But I kind of wanted to read through some of this stuff with you, because so like I thought of the word analog input like as the way I would describe what I'm thinking of, like what interests me specifically is the analogous nature of clicking a button over here and moving it on a pad or within a frame, and having that result in a translation to DPI and decision. So there's actually something really interesting that I put that I found here. I feel like this kind of talks about it, but I want to find the article that I actually was reading. I might have lost it, but I'll bring this up. So this talks about how by looking at how a participant's hand movements settle into one of multiple responsive alternatives, and I'm just reading straight from this, so bear with me, I am dyslexic, so you can read probably faster. And how they may be partially pulled towards other alternatives researchers can get a sense of how psychological response evolves over time. So that is interesting because it sounds like it's talking about um you know how like people say don't change your sensitivity in a video game if you're into like shooters and you play a video game, like a lot of people will say don't change your sensitivity because then your motor skills won't develop in the right way. Like you'll have to adjust, be constantly learning new things, making new connections, and it won't retain the same level of practice, that second nature that we rely on for a lot of these like physical things, you know. Like being able to even stand is something that if you do it for a longer time each day, you'll eventually find that you can stand a lot longer. Same thing for aiming or like moving your hand and responding to visual stimuli. And so this first sentence is just talking about how like being able to track that allows the researchers who are developing this. So John Freeman is a PhD at Tufts, I believe, and you can email him to use this program, though I think it's mostly reserved for research purposes. I'm still gonna try. I think art is research. Art is close enough. And the way that this software tracks your hand, I have a program that kind of does it too, so I'll pull that up. I think I have it set up. Let me add a screen. Oh, that's it. There it is. This is it. So this thing is a program. I don't like how it works because first off, it won't let me not capture both my screens. So I have a dual monitor set up for streaming because I like to be able to show you things here. But it captures both my screens. So if I'm over here, it doesn't really go all the way across. I think I can, like, I have to bring my mouse all the way over to get it there. But if I just stay here, it's kind of like, so like, this is my behavior on the website. Like say I want to scroll up, down. I'm just going to leave it on for a little bit while we talk. But the idea is that being able to see how someone, like if I'm reading and I highlight something, you can see the result of that mouse movement. Same thing for if I am trying to respond to stimuli. You might see if we're like right now, you're going to see a lot of marks appear on the left-hand side of this cube, because the right-hand side is my monitor where I see you all, I see the chat, I see myself, and that is how I can kind of meter this creation. But when I am playing a game, it'll all be entirely over here. And a lot of the times, because I play a lot of shooters, first-person shooters, that first-person element means that everything will recede. Like all of these mouse movements will probably come back to the center of my screen. And what's interesting is you can probably see that in the way that I interact with any of the software on my computer, because I have trained myself to bring my mouse back to center. Crosshair placement is everything. But beside that, I'm gonna hide this for now and we'll come back to it in a bit. We'll see what's going on. But I just wanted to bring back this page. So there was something in an article that I was reading before that talked about, so this can reveal hidden cognitive states. There was something in an article that talked about how mouse tracking can highlight commitments that an individual will make. So in order for me, so right now, because I'm reading this page, I am not clicking on any of these buttons. I might move my mouse up there, but if they record where I click, I'm not going to click this button and any of these buttons until I'm done on this page, until I read as much as I want to read. And then say I read all this, and then I'm like, okay, I want to go download. That's probably a common thing for people to do. But what if I go to about, and then I'm like, I want to see what screenshots look like. And there are people, and there's a lot of data, and you can like test with fruit and vegetable, I guess. So I think people click what they want, and you see the mouse kind of like, this is condition 1, condition 2. It's very interesting. You can see the trajectory. So someone here was like, maybe this one, and no, they're like, and like people do that a lot, it seems. I feel like I'm the type of person, and this might be from like playing games so much, but like most of the time I feel like I'd be on this trajectory, and I guess that makes sense. That seems to be what's going on. Like, see how opaque this is? It looks almost like its own paintbrush. And then so the dot, I think the dot frequency talks about how fast the mouse is moving. So like the ones that are really elongated between dots, I think those were really quick, like, yep, okay, I agree, I disagree, I agree. And then the ones that are really short, I think those were like kind of a hesitated, like slightly slower speed. It's interesting. I'm curious like how this navigation of time will result in like marks on a page when we go into an alternative world. So I do this thing sometimes on stream where I talk about Google Maps. So maybe we'll go to Google Maps and we'll see what I do with what turns out on the mouse tracker. Does that sound fun? I think it does. And I am the most important person here. So, just saying. Google Street View is like one of my favorite things to do. Because it kind of is, you know, you're in the world that you exist in. You know, it's not any different than what you're expecting. But you can travel to places that you never would have expected that do exist, but not within access to you. Like there are a lot of places I've seen on Google Earth that I will never see in real life, even ones that are like close to me. So let's say we go to, I live in the Northeast, and let's say we go to New York. I throw down a little, we're in the, I want to go to the Catskills. So even though I do plan to go to the Catskills at some point, for a nice hike or two or something like that, I probably will never go to, let's say, Addison, New York. You know, I'm never gonna be on this land. So I'm like experiencing this through an analog, and it's a point and click adventure. You know, I might do this, I might rotate my hand, so like when I rotate the camera, that's going to be a directional mark on the let me see if I can bring that up actually. So when I rotate the camera, that'll be a directional mark, and when I wait, maybe I don't want to cover the chat in case someone has a question. That's important. No. So, let's go see what this truck is doing. What do you have in the back of your truck? I think something's wrong with your wheels. I feel like we're missing part of this truck, but maybe it's just like really stubbed. This is entirely what I picture when I picture upstate New York, though. This reminds me of when we were traveling through Finland a couple weeks ago. So you'll notice that, like, very specific... I feel like it's hard to tell right now, so maybe we'll restart the capture. Actually, it has weird circles. I don't know what the weird circles are. Okay. Okay, never mind. We're leaving it up. I want to see if it develops more weird circles, because that will make this tracker a lot more interesting to me. Because I used it the other day for a few minutes, and it was like just a bunch of lines, and I was like, this is cool, but I don't know if this will actually help me like visualize a aesthetic trajectory from my mouse movements. But if like, let's see what happens if I leave it going for like 10-15 minutes. Where do we end up? So I'm going to put this away, and I'm just gonna keep. You can watch the tracker, but I am going to keep looking through things, and then when I find something cool, I'll take us to it. And so this way you're watching like the movement via my hand. But it's interesting too, because I can move my mouse over to this page while turning, because the acceleration of the mouse. So that's a different type of input, like a different impact that we can have on our mouse input. So these decisions are a lot harder to quantify than the ones in the study. And the same thing goes for video games. Because you don't know what is on my screen or where the position of my screen is. Even like, unless I'm showing you, you don't know like why I'm looking at something, or why I'm gonna turn around and look at this truck. Where'd it go? I don't know. We'll look at this truck. They all seem short. What's up with this? Maybe it's because they're raised, or maybe they're like actually like half. Feels short. Okay. If anyone knows why they feel short, let me know, because I would love to just seeing if it's recording still. I feel like it might not be. Can we? Oh, okay, here we go. I have to keep refreshing it. Okay. That's lame. I want it to be like real time for y'all. Going into town. These intersections are always... like, I feel like there's one of these intersections every time I'm in a, it's like a left turn intersection or something, where like this goes straight, but like these have a left turn around this little island. It's not actually called that, that's just what I'm calling it. I'm on the tracks. That looks so pretty. I love train tracks. It's weird having a pathway that cuts through the center of like forest, or like it, you know, it's like power lines. Power lines feel like this like magical place, at least because I grew up near some, and you know, every once in a while you'd see people like bombing through them with like a BMX bike or something, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do that when I get older. That's like all I want. And then you get older and you try it and you fall and are terrified of doing it ever again. That's what happened with me, at least. But I enjoyed that there was this pathway in the town next to me that had like all these rocks, and it was like a really steep hill going underneath power lines, and it had like a lot of different paths that people would use with like dirt bikes, but I decided to go down it with my mountain bike, which people did, but I was like 12 or something, and I biked out there. Like it was like an hour bike ride to get there, and then I like finally got there, and I was like so scared. I think I made it like a quarter of the way down, and then like flipped my bike and then walked it slowly, sadly, to the road and left. I thought it was interesting that impact, the etymology of impact, starts from a word that I cannot pronounce, but it's like Pinjir, meaning to fix or fasten, to set or drive or sink. But when you think of it in terms of impact, in terms of how it devolved or evolved into impact, was that the word was often used with a negative connotation. So impact stems from a negative, like the social use of the word was initially mostly negative, which is just interesting. So like the impact of the earthquake, or impact, you impacted someone's life, or isn't there like an injury, like an impacted toenail or something? Gross. Well, so I'm gonna update this again because I don't know if it's, oh, it is, it's live, it's alive. But I'm gonna move it so that we can watch it, and just gonna keep going my good old way. We'll talk about stuff too. So my goal for today is for us to create something from this one word. So every day, I should have started with this because my idea is that people can watch this later and get something from it. So I'm gonna put timestamps and stuff in. Maybe I'll just put this timestamp in first so I can explain. Either that or I'll just edit everything into a video, which usually is what happens. So check the channel for videos of older streams. But the reason that I'm picking the word impact today, and tomorrow it'll be something else. It might not be a word, it might be a tool, an object, a place, idea. You can suggest them in the comments or in chat. But we're gonna start from a starting point each day, and for the first hour we're gonna just talk about it. We're gonna just have a nice long conversation and like throw out ideas, you know, kind of like reassociation, if you will. And we will be seeing what we can, like, what process can we evoke from our source, from our inspiration. And it doesn't have to be a process that is anything physical. It doesn't have to be a process that's a specific medium. It doesn't have to be a process that creates something that we traditionally think of as art. The goal is just to have us go from point A to point B, and point B to be something new. So what I'm going to have us do today is try to figure out how impact, remote control, mouse tracking can all be re-envisioned or re-represented by a work of art, something to be viewed. I would say that that's my definition of art, is it's something to be perceived by someone other than the creator. And you know, that's a loose definition. I'm sure you could easily convince me otherwise. But for the sake of this project, for the sake of this summer workshop thing that I'm doing, That's what we're gonna focus on. So I would really like to see if we can maybe use this image, possibly paint something, maybe figure out like what these things are. I'm gonna save this image right now, so let me hide this, and while we're working, you'll just look at me. I'll ramble. Ooh, there's so much information on this one. 17 minutes of information. This is fantastic. Yeah, I'll save it. Cool. You really want to close and lose all your data? No, I don't, but I'm going to. I love how every program ever has a prompt that does that. But I'm pretty sure I saved that image, so we're gonna pop this open. Ooh, it looks way more interesting here. So the program that I downloaded is very different from the program that the Tufts developer developed. So it has a much less information embedded into it. So this is our image that we just created by watching me go through Google Maps and explore web pages. So you can see there's a little trajectory here. There's a lot of crisscrossing. You can see that, like, if I zoom out, I make it even more zoomed out. Nah. If I go into a software, I can do that, which we will do. That's probably where we're gonna start today. I would like to do something a little more creative than just import this into Clip Studio and be like, okay, I'm gonna paint. But at the moment, that's where my head is leaning. But maybe we could ooh. I really like crochet. I really like crochet, and I had been doing it on this painting for a while. Maybe we can start doing that again based on this map. Problem is I don't have a printer, so I would have to translate it observationally. So I would have to have it up here on my screen, and then I would have to be sewing in front of you and talking about the process, which, like, we could do, you know, that wouldn't be too hard. But the thing that I'm thinking is, how do we define what? Okay, hear me out. We're gonna start in Clip Studio, then we're gonna switch to my crochet hoops, and then we are going to sew some stuff, and then we'll see what happens. You know, it might not be something interesting, but this is just day one. It's just the first day of coming from point A to point B, and that's all we do. That's all we do here, is go from point A to point B, and there are a lot of ways to do that. I think it's so interesting that this dot is so much bigger, and I think what this is when I was talking at the end of our last thing, I had hit a button on OBS, and I left my mouse there. I was using my hands to talk. And I think this is how long I left my cursor in one spot for. So we can see I spend a lot of time in the center of my screen. And there are a lot of moments where I hesitate or click. So these clicks are probably where I clicked to navigate the image on Google Maps. So a lot of these clicks might have come from that. I can't tell exactly what makes them bigger, or the impact larger, or why this one is completely full and doesn't have a giant circle around it, but these ones have giant circles around them. I will need to do some research as to like what this image is. Sorry, I was talking about something you couldn't see. But see, this circle is huge. And I think that was me leaving it here on the screen because I had just touched something and I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And I was talking to you. So here, let's open up Clip Studio and start. I'm gonna new project. Okay. And boop. So this is Clip Studio. It's my software of choice lately. I've been teaching a digital painting class this semester. The semester just ended. Just had all of our finals, so that's why I'm like starting this stream right now. Because yesterday I got done and I was like, I want to start streaming regularly. So I've got our schedule set for the summer. So can't wait for all of us to be here. I'm gonna load on this screen. I'm gonna bring in this file, and maybe so. I think there's something interesting about this section. Didn't mean for that. Can we undo? Yeah, there we go. Undid. There's something interesting about this section. And I think it's because it's the in-between space of my two monitors. It's like right here. So I am going to just crop everything to this section. Like we might need to do something else with this space because I think it's all interesting, but this seems like the easiest starting point. Hello. Crop, crop, crop. Why do I always forget how to crop things here? Yeah, that's what I want. Too many softwares. All similar commands, but none of them are the same. No, I don't. I want to move the page. So we can get really zoomed in now. So there's a way to view this with color, and I think the colors might mean something different. So they might, like, the colors, each line is kind of like rainbow-esque, and I think they mean velocity. So velocity of your hand as you're moving. And I think the straighter the line is, also the faster you moved your hand. So like you see some of these have like nice little curves and little jagged jives, and I think that's because there's a certain rate at which the mouse sends information, so point A to point B. And I keep using that, but that's what it's all about today. And I think that that's how we can judge velocity here, because I think velocity is such an important part of art, in the sense that, like, when I'm painting, if I want to make there's a pixel thing. Okay. If I'm painting and I want to make let's pop this down a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. If I make a fast mark, so like I think these marks that go through this are pretty fast. So I'm using a stylus now. I was thinking of painting with the brush, but I think the stylus will just be a lot better for me, even though it is another translation. So we're translating from mouse to stylus to page. Energy drinks are wonderful. It's interesting because I'm not sure, I forget what I mixed this color for before, but it kind of works out. We're gonna saturate a little bit. So I was just talking with my class about how we all kind of gravitate towards certain hues when we're trying to create something. Like you might find that if you start an image, you might the first color you mix is probably the one that you feel the most comfortable mixing. For me, it is often some type of orange, warm, yellow hue. Might push it even more towards this color. And then I use this a lot for my underpaintings, like this kind of warm hue. It's strange. I think the opacity of the gouache is low. What's going on? Density of paint. Yeah, let's increase the color stretch. That sounds fun. Let's add paint. Nice. So I move around a lot on my canvases, and I think that does well for what we're kind of looking at. So we're making a two-dimensional image, and I think this can then translate to something that's more impactful. It would be interesting to use this as like a dance score. You know, so a dance score is something that directs a dancer. In many ways, like for contemporary dance especially, you'll have a score that it's the same as a score in music or a score in most types of performance, where especially ones that have rhythm. And there is a history of people using things like this as a dance score because of Mears Cunningham and John Cage having done a lot of like AI generated pathways to create prints, which then directed dancers. So we might try something like that too, because that's very interesting to me and something that we can do within a short amount of time. Whereas like, I don't know, creating a 2D image in one setting for an hour, I feel like is a long. It wouldn't be satisfying to me. I want something a lot more satisfying. Whoa. I hope I'm like in sync, like the band. But sometimes my voice gets out of sync, and right now OBS is doing this weird thing in the corner. And I'm like, I've never seen that before, but it looks slightly concerning. But we'll just ignore it and we'll be on our way. So we're using this like warm color. Maybe we'll cool it down. Get some brown coolness going. Let me hide this, and I'm just gonna keep working on it while we talk, because I think that's mostly what this is about. This show, this episode, this episodic adventure we have on creating. I wanna talk about it more than I wanna show. It's not like a how-to. It's a stream where we can discuss cool thoughts and implement them together. Whereas, you know, it's kind of like when I'm teaching, I don't like giving demos a lot, because if I give a demo, people are going to see the way that I paint. And they'll be like, oh, this teacher paints this way, so if I just kind of do something that looks like it, that will be good. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes that's good. But it also, like, especially if a student works well that way. So a lot of times, you know, I think every semester there's someone in my class who like works well with like the techniques and things I've developed as a painter. But um, you kind of want to avoid prescribing any type of um, experience on like any type of like aesthetic choice onto your students. Like their choices should be their own, not yours. And that's how I feel about this stream too. So when we're talking about this, maybe you can think of ways that impact and mouse tracking can be emblemized in your own medium. You know, I'm talking about making a painting that scores a dance. Maybe you want to find a pattern on the internet that has a Arduino like build that you can sew the pattern, so it's like a shirt pattern, and there's an Arduino pocket, you know, like a lapel pocket, and you can put a Arduino in it, and then you can hook up the Arduino to the like something built into the eyelets, and then the eyelets will buckle at a touch based on the photo sensor over it. So like you can have them like, or they'll unbuckle. That's probably a lot easier. And then so you'll have like buttons, and then you can just like wave your hand over it, and then they'll unbuckle, and that's how you interpret connection to visual, auditory, thought process, processing of information. And or maybe you just want to play a video game because I talked about video games, because that's kind of what happens to me sometimes. But we're gonna think about how we can codify the observations and choices I'm making. So again, it's back to choices. So mouse clicks involve choice. Into music, rhythm, motion, body, and like how can we say a saturation, like a moment of saturation or a moment of neutrality, relates to a head level or a arm extension, finger extensions? You know, does it relate to an inversion? Like say right now all of my colors are this kind of like brown orange hue. So what if I go just like full out? I'm like, hey, this moment over here is an inversion. Excuse me. Gross. This moment over here is an inversion, and that means, so an inversion in like physical things is you're turning upside down. You might turn your hand upside down, you might move your arm upside down, you might rotate your head. But that experience is codified now by the opposite color of our main hue that's present. And you know, this might change as I paint. So like say we go back to orange neutral color, and I'm like, okay, so this is starting to get a little pink, and you know, I'm using a not so opaque color. So what if I bring that down, density of paint, color stretch, bring that down, and now we've got brush size back. I want it, give it back to me. So now we've got a little bit more opacity, a little bit less satisfaction, a little bit less like color drop. Like we're losing less of our color as we're going. So these marks are gonna sit on top of what I'm drawing pretty consistently. Like it's not gonna make a difference. And that is going to change our conversation. So right now, this color next to this color is creating contrast, and this is a much more neutral, cooler hue than this one is. but this one's definitely cooler than this one. So what does this like exchange mean? Is it creating a rhythm or a pattern? Um, and this is all up for interpretation. So like maybe we give this to a dancer at the end. Send it out in an email to a friend of mine. See if it can be used. We'll see. We'll see. Pull it off. So I'm gonna just. Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't realize I was swapping these things out. Cool. And a lot of this, I do think about space when I'm drawing. Like I think about what I'm seeing and how it relates to the other marks that I've made. And there are a lot of ways that this will change as I'm moving my stylus over the page, or like creating moments of motion. So we're translating movement from the hand and digital world into a movement of the body, a choice, an option for someone to react to this movement that I was doing while navigating Google Earth. So I think that's a pretty interesting result for day one. I think I'm pretty excited about it. Kind of in hour one, so maybe we'll talk about how this kind of happens. I have a program called Daz, which I can model a figure, so I'll pull that up too. So Daz makes a program that you can model 3D models of humans. I'm gonna pull it up when I can like put clothes on the figures, because I feel like I shouldn't have nude 3D models on YouTube. I don't know, but we'll avoid it. Stream safe. Accept. I skipped the tutorials. Okay, so we have an actor that we'll add in. So we're readying the asset. So this actor, we're gonna have respond to, not with any like programming, because I don't know that yet, but we're gonna have them respond to this drawing. Let me throw this up. We're gonna kind of talk about like how this body can respond to this drawing, and we'll continue working on the drawing, but for right now I want to navigate. How do I move the screen? Oh, this is it. That's it. Rotate some body parts. It's interesting because the body rotates. So like, what's our standing pose? Is it a T pose? I think it might be a T pose. Oh, that's how we do that. And then how do we rotate? Whoa, I did something weird to your back. I'm sorry. I'm a zombie. Yeah, okay, that's our base pose is zombie. Zombie. Front. That's kind of cool though. Gonna move this down. We want to get rid of some of the distortion. I want it to be physically possible to do this dance. I like the chest back though, you know. Bring this up. Reaching into the pocket. That's a good one. Bring this down. Scratch the butt. Bye-bye. Okay. Wait, let's see if we can actually do that. Okay, so this back to NSYNC. We're in sync. No, I want to turn it up. Give me your other finger. Come here. Give me your finger. Finger. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is our base pose. I'm sticking with it. So we're gonna go back to our painting, and just keep in mind that this is our base pose. This is like where we're starting. This is orange, you know. This is that red orange kind of like, let's do it. But hit stop for candy. I have gummy lifesavers. They're wild berry, which I guess wild berries aren't just every berry, but it's strawberry, red raspberry, blackberry, black raspberry, white grape, and cherry berry. Is a cherry a berry or is cherry a fruit? I'm pretty sure it has a pit. Cherry berry is not a real thing. I refuse to believe it. Let me look it up. And don't worry, that's not me condemning cherry berry as a flavor. I think the less real a candy flavor is, the better. Cherry berry. Cherry berry yogurt bar. combined cherry berry juice. So you have to combine cherries and berry juice, and then there's a froyo place called Cherry Berry. So I will still call this fake. I think the jury's out. I am the jury, the judge, and Cherry Berry is fake. So that means it's completely reformed. It is the best flavor in this pack of Lifesavers. Cherry Berry wins, and we're gonna sit at that. So wait, what was I doing? I looked up Cherry Berry, but I'm going back to the painting. Sorry, distracted. So maybe I'll throw this up and we'll just vibe out for a little bit. Wait, no, I'll throw this up and we'll just chill. I'm gonna switch to India ink and do dry ink. Do a layer of opacity, just kind of like covering up some of this stuff. No matter what, even if I can't see, hey, I don't want shapes. Even if I can't see like the work I've done underneath, it's all affecting the stuff that's on top, you know, like all of this color that I'm laying down is gonna be a part of the response I have to the information of the mouse. So it's fine to me that I'm like covering up a lot of this midsection where a lot of the like big action is happening. I'm also gonna cover up a lot of this. I can still see it though, like if we zoom in, which I'll do in a second, we'll be able to see all those little lines. See, there they are. It's interesting. It looks like a map with this brush texture. I should make a series of brushes that are just like maps. Maps of different continents, or countries, or islands. Everything looks like a sponge to me. Wait. Just a second. Look what we got here. We have a dragon that I didn't realize was an actor. Let's move this dragon up. Ah! Okay, so that's our dragon. But yeah, sorry. Back to painting. This is interesting because it's like I've created this giant proportion of stuff, and we can really start to like boil down some color choices here. And what's interesting too is that there's a lot of commitment involved in color detection, or the way that we choose color, especially in an abstract painting, is very committal. And I think that fits the theme of our mouse tracking experiment. When I'm working with abstraction, I am often trying to think about how I can limit the amount of choices I do make, because sometimes giving yourself a lot of choices to decide on leaves things unchecked, or it like leaves room for things to create relationships that are like too far separated from the relationships that I'm aiming to make. So that's why I'm kind of blocking out a big section with this blue and that gray, neutral brown, yellow. I tell my students all the time that we can't use the words gray, black, white, or brown. And it's a very difficult. It's a very difficult thing to like wrap your head around when you're trying to talk about color and you're like, I can't use gray, but how am I supposed to describe this gray? And you're like, well, what color is it actually? And like, I would say that this color is pretty red or orange. You know, it's like it's red or orange, and it's a little yellow, and then there's like some green thrown in there, and you got yourself this weird gray, this desaturated brown. Which again, we can't use the word brown. So how do you describe brown? It's orange. It just gives you a lot more information to work with than trying to paint something that's not that has like a million different interpretations. Which, you tell me how many different colors can be gray, and you'll answer that question for yourself. We can start to structure this a little bit. So like maybe blue, this blue is a little too desaturated. So we'll take it a bit further. So like I like to think about value a lot when I'm thinking about color, but that also can come in a lot of different forms. So right now I'm using both a transparency in like a neutral kind of changing color, and a value, so it's a lot darker than my other blue. I think I can still see that dot. I didn't want to lose all the dots yet. This dot is really important to me. It's there. I know where it is about, so we'll use it. So I wonder what the darker blue is. In terms of like how we read the instructions of this. Okay, cool. The song was so cool. I was worried it wasn't like one of my like copyright free songs, and it is, so that's cool. I don't know how much it picks up because it's probably pretty quiet. But I have music. I like to have music in the background while I'm rambling. Makes me feel less alone. And then maybe we'll get richer, a little warmer. You. I did not want to expand, no. This is the perfect format. It is the ideal, the perfect rectangle. It's actually probably not a rectangle that fits into the golden ratio, but I feel like that's what most people would consider perfect. But I don't really think that's perfection is like a very interesting concept because it's completely subjective. Unless you're talking about this painting, because obviously this painting is perfect. You can't deny it. Look at that. We're gonna swipe across the top. Maybe mimic this, like, I see that hard edge, so I'm like thinking it's a fast motion. So I'm gonna use a fast mark. And then I'm gonna bring in some of this cool color again. You can always go back and forth. I'll probably try to make up a dance for this, but I don't think I don't know if I can. Analog for this body movement. I think it's interesting because there is a lot of like, it's kind of this swirl that happens, which makes sense because we're kind of navigating the same space over and over again. Maybe we'll make a song to dance to based on this too. That sounds fun. That sounds like that could lead into understanding how to make it into a dance, you know? So like, dance is an interpretation of music. It's sometimes you can do it without music, but then it's an interpretation of like motion response to your muscles and everything. So, how about we take this image? Oops, I accidentally saved over our initial image. That's fine. We don't need it. We don't need it. But I'm gonna open Reaper, which is my DAW of choice, my music writing program of choice, and we're gonna make a drum track. Maybe a little dronage that we can then use to create or a dance. Brain is like over caffeinated now, so we're gonna just go the whole 9 yards. I'm also gonna start preloading the Marauders playtest because I'm pretty sure that should be available. Oh yeah, it is. It is available. So we're gonna preload that while I am working on this track, and then we're gonna dance. I'm gonna dance back there. I'm gonna get up, move my body, you know, start off with the bye bye bye, and then go into something else. You know? And then I guess we can stop my royalty-free playlist because we don't need that if we're making our own beats, music. Yeah, Synsonic is the one that I've been using. It's a drum machine that's actually pretty decent. I guess for dancing we need that like thuddy thud thud. Can you hear that? Like if I play this, I'm gonna look at the thing while I can't see it. Okay, this is how we'll go. Okay, yeah, you can really hear that. Sorry. Sorry for the we'll turn it down a little bit. So I'm gonna start with like everything on a like one note every beat. Yeah. And then we'll work our way back from that. Oh, is this just the 909? Okay, yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll insert new mat. And then I think I was using labs for like the actual. Yes, I was. Nope. I always want to try something like that. You can see it now, so that's better. We're just doing simple. No. One base? I like that one, I think. I want it to be a little like gear. We can get rid of the whatever the clicking is. Coffee guy. I think it's the coffee guy or it's popcorn. It's either coffee or popcorn. That's the one that I don't like. Okay, cantaloupe's good. I like the cantaloupe. There we go. I think there's a lot of noise, so I want some white noise going on. Actually, I'm gonna just go keys, go origin, close. I'm gonna add a trash filter, so we're gonna have some real noise going on. Happy. Go. Alright. Okay, maybe not that much. Okay. Let's insert new track. No, I want insert new MIDI item. Boom. some EQ on it. Sounds like a foghorn. Not a glass cabinet. It's not what I want. Flux. So I'm just going to turn up the velocity on these all the way. We'll see if we can... I guess you have to hold them for longer. Okay, we're gonna ignore that because it's not working out the way I want it to. But so we have that track now. Just a second, give me a yawn. We have that track now, which is designed for us to move through space at a rhythm. That's pretty much all I need it for, is setting the rhythm of our mouse movements. Honestly, I think they're probably a lot more chaotic than that. There's not much rhythmic about navigating a page. But kind of putting something in a composition is putting it in a frame, which is then interpreting it, which we tend to do better if there are patterns. So we seek out patterns in these like small visual moments, and that's what results in like this over our music. So let me see. Bring this back up. Zoom in. I'm gonna stretch, and then we will do some motion to this piece of art. So we're gonna assume that the red in this painting is probably the lowest mode, or maybe no. So the inversions are the blue. So there's a lot of inversions given what we've defined so far. So we defined that orange is our main color. That's our like bye 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 pose. This one. Just for a refresher, this one with the dragon now. Bye bye bye. So this is our start. I guess the dragon's all like. This is our rhythm. Very strange rhythm. And now we're going to, no, that's not what I wanted. I want the image. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna dance to this image, which is based on our mouse movements from earlier going through Google Maps. And we are going to start with bye bye bye. And then we're going to end from maybe left to right. So the way we read, you know, Western reading, left to right. So it's going to be a lot of inversions first. So like, how do I do an upside down? Bye bye bye. Maybe it involves here. That's not gonna work. That's my bye bye bye. Okay, so inverted bye bye bye. And then we're gonna go to this neutral hue, which might be like a forward, like a just front facing, like talking to you, kind of like not motivated, you know, not like fast, like a slow, kind of subtle interpretation color in that movement. So I think a lot of those motions, so especially this like middle section down here, like if you follow the page, this section is going to be like just a straight line. You know, that's that I was moving from this screen to that screen pretty quickly. You know, it was like completely inobtrusive. You know, I wasn't thinking about why I was doing it. I just had to click a button on the other screen and then I moved back. So that's going to be that form of dance. I would say these red marks are definitely when I had to do something. So there's an imperative there. It means that I had to do this, that this thing was going to make an impact on what happened next. So this is all surrounded and framed and composed by inversions. Now, jokingly, my inversion is flipping my shirt over, but maybe we can think about the way that like flipping my shirt over leads to having to flip it back. So like having to upright yourself. And so that's another physical motion. Like how can we alternate between the motion of lifting your arm and changing space, changing shape, to being like keys have a life of their own, but we'll ignore that. To being all right, wait, I'll put back normal music because this is gonna get old real quick. But so we're thinking about the way that this image can become a dance, like the way that we can create it and turn it into the motion of this song. So like that song was kind of going on for a while. I think I saw, did I see someone? Impact. Yes, Impact. I'm gonna dance in a second. Dancing. Because we're turning this image, which I painted from mouse movements. So I have this program. Actually, wait, let me show you. I have this program that is kind of cool. Let me turn it on. Oop. Okay. So it just like tracks my mouse movement. And then if I have to like do something like respond to something, maybe we'll move this over. No, this one. I think if I leave my hand for a second, for like a minute, it'll do something. Like leave my hand in a space. I think it turns into a dot. I'm not sure though. But you can go back earlier in the video, at least on YouTube. And I was talking about like why. Yeah, see, it turned into a dot. I don't know why it did. But earlier I was talking about like why I'm doing this. So each day of the week, so I'm planning on doing a stream like Tuesday through Friday. And each day for like 3 hours in the middle of the day. And then like I'll do other streams like games. Speaking of which, Marauders playtest is today, and I am so stoked. I just installed it while doing this. So that might be what's happening after this. But each stream I'm gonna start with a word. I'm gonna start with an idea. Yeah, so these are just like if I leave my hand still, like if I take my hand off of the mouse, I guess. That's interesting. Does it like it immediately does it? No, I think it has to be like left for a while. But each day I'm gonna take a word or an idea, which you could suggest one if you want. So today was impact, and I decided it led me to mouse movements, which is something I've been wanting to play with anyway in my own work. But I am turning this into a dance, and then I might email it to someone I know who actually does like dance and see if they can do a dance to it. But for right now, this is what it turned into, all of those motions. Oh wait, I wanted to hide that. So all those motions turned into this painting, which now I'm trying to figure out how to turn it into a dance. And also our dance is starting from this pose. So this is our pose for our dance. You know, it's like with your hand on your butt, maybe. So I'm going to start thinking of that, and I'm gonna mute myself and play the song that I wrote a song. Oh wait, I muted myself. Yes, including the dragon. The dragon is dance. Dragon is like okay. But yeah, see his leg. I can move them too. Oh wait, I have to. But I am going to dance to this, and I'm gonna mute myself so that I can hear the music. And I'm only gonna do this for a second because this is gosh darn annoying. So yeah, that was my dance. I'm gonna get a professional to do it too, so that'll be more interesting maybe. but this is a dragon. So this is like, I'm thinking every day I'm gonna try to do something. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna do something that kind of leads from one of these things to another, at least. So like tomorrow I'm thinking of possibly doing like architecture, or maybe I'll go outside and find some trash somewhere on the street and be like, this is our inspiration. I was gonna do some crochet today, but I decided not to. I am dying to play Marauders, which I might be running out of things to do at the moment for today's workshop day. I was also gonna make these things dance, but I don't know how to animate in this program yet. How are you doing, Kyle? Okay, wait. I'm gonna nice. I'm gonna start up Marauders so we can look at it. Because it's like Hunt Showdown or Tarkov, like one of those kinds of games where you have to like find loot and then extract, but it's in space, which is fun. You have D&D in space. That's essentially Marauders. What is this like online, or is this with your sibling?
For 70 years, we've lived in the shadows of the Great War. A war that destroyed Earth and forced humanity into the cold void of space. Those three great
Yeah, online, nice. This is the intro to okay, I muted it because I don't want it yet. But that's the intro to Marauders, I guess. Nice, that's exciting. Is it's with people like from, you had talked to people from Reddit? Is it something you're DMing, or is it something other people are DMing? Oh, I forget what cubolds are. I know they're do I need a how to play video, or should I just go right into it? Another person is DMing. It's exciting. Let's get a little bit of it.
Player to Marauders. The goal of this introduction video is to help you with your first steps in the game. We will cover the basics of gearing up and how to play the game.
Okay, I'm gonna edit some of my settings before we do this.
Might get reworked and improved.
Yeah, okay. Kobold are little dragons. That makes sense.
In the gear tab, you equip your Marauder with all the necessities for a successful raid. At the beginning, the game will provide you with some basic free items and credits. If you can, equip a backpack to extract
Hello.
items.
How's it going? I just had like a bunch of the art stream, but now I'm checking out Marauders because the playtest is open. Okay, I think I know how to play this because I've played Tarkov. So I'm just gonna assume But this is your start, I guess. I think I unlock most of this stuff. I want to look cool though. I want this. Get some stuff to start off with. Since I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just gonna take all this stuff off and put it up. Yes, I do. I know. I will hide it so that it's interesting because so the reason I have that is because I was planning on playing some games and recording it, but I'm gonna do. I feel like the knife is useful. I don't know if it is though. Bandages, definitely. Do they not give me a backpack? Or I only have one sack bag. 9mm. Well, I'm not using a real gun, so I'm gonna throw this stuff off to the side. So this is the pre-alpha of or alpha test of Marauders, which is a space Tarkov game. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it was showing, but I wasn't sure if I wanted it yet, so I turned it off because I think you're right. I don't want it showing yet. Thank you. I wonder how many people are playing right now. Have you seen this game, Kyle or Moss? Either of you? Also, Moss, this is Kyle. Kyle, this is Moss. I want to connect to a match, but I feel like it's not doing it. So this game is like you go into spaceships and you take loot and then you leave the spaceship. Nice. How so you retrieved Friendo, or is that soon? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did send you a link because I think it's a game you'd find interesting, at least. So my stream is definitely dropping frames right now, which is not a good sign, but also this is like playtest, so I should expect this. But maybe I should stop all my other programs from running. Yeah, I'll close the tracker. Yes, I'll close. Yeah, sure. Sure. Blurg. And then I'll close Daz. So I made a dance based on this motion earlier. Woo driving. Blurg. Okay. What is this? This is the Marauders. Okay, and then I'm just gonna close this. Closing everything that's not necessary right now. Nice, it's dropping less frames. I did it. It's success. That's all that I wanted. Ooh, driving home at 1. Oh wait, so that was you, Kyle. I'm like trying to everyone is driving from Boston at some point in the last 24 hours. Nice. I feel like I should create a crew. Go to space. No. Go to SPAC. Okay. Our password is IVI. Okay. In case any of y'all want to join my crew. Set as ready. All crew ready. Ready for waiting for captain to launch. That's me. I'm the captain and the only crew member. So you get a spaceship and you man a ship. And Game of Thrones space. Yes, exactly. Captain of a ship. Nice. It's starting. It's the game. It's got a little gun loading thing in the bottom. High quality. Loot, kill, escape. Oh, I'm changing settings. Boop. Medium. Controls, mouse sensitivity. Bring that all the way down. All right. I am piloting. So there are other people who are probably like doing stuff, and I have to like. Wait, I heard gunshots. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna actually board. So, okay, so I can do this. Wait, how do I get to the pods? I need to get to the escape pods. There's stairs somewhere. I'm lost. I don't know my ship. There they are. I guess running probably depletes my oxygen. So now I get to go up to one of these ships that are fighting and possibly board them, and then I can try to kill them. No. Wait, there was another ship here. That's my ship. I think that person disabled a ship. Yeah, it's very cool. This game is super, super cool. Okay, they're still fighting, so I'm gonna chase them. It might take me a little bit. Yeah, so I don't know. it's really hard to see these little space pods. I haven't seen anyone in like videos I've watched. I haven't seen anyone get shot out of the sky in one of these. But as long as they don't go into this thing, I can breach them and then I can try to kill the person on board. It's likely that, so I only brought a pistol, so I'm not necessarily going to get a kill. Although I think they might have boarded that person. Yeah. Okay. They're above me. There's a chance that they're gonna look at the other side. Ooh, I'm not the only one here. That's for sure. I should really loot this person because I think they're dead. Okay, I'm getting out of here before they kill me. Good luck, have fun. They might shoot me. I don't know where that ship's getting shot from. Is it that one? I don't know. I'm going back to my ship because I think I can probably either extract or go. I'd like to shoot something. But this is cool. I'm excited about this. Also, it streams pretty well. I'm surprised. How's my audio if anyone's still here? I wasn't sure. The other day it was like delayed for some reason. This is my ship. Is anyone on it? I don't think so. I feel like there should be a different way to enter your own ship. There's blood spatter here. I didn't do that. But I don't think anyone did. I think that's a part of. Part of the game is the blood spatter. Yeah, you definitely, playing solo is hard in this game. Which is why I keep telling everyone about it, because I want friends. Fire extinguisher. That's how you can fix your ship. You just go and like blow the fire extinguisher at your engine and it fixes it. Because that's how fire extinguishers work. But you can also shoot as a pilot, so that's useful. So, like, something was shooting at that person. Oh, that one was. How far do I have to lead? Oh, wait. I need to get off. I'm gonna die. Did I die? I died. Darn it. I got into the pod and then I died. Yeah, it's hard. Hard. But like not actually that hard. I feel like it's reasonable to play. Helmet. I shouldn't have taken all of my ammo. Food can and a bandage. I'll take a bandage too. Oh wait. It's like I thought I got away, got out. So you never lose that ship. You can lose other ships. So if you like find a cool ship or if you take someone else's cool ship, you can lose those, but you never lose your base like this thing. But you like it I think like after a certain amount of shots, you just like take too much damage and then you die. I like the way they look. The like plague-esque mask. I feel like his entire suit is rubber or leather of some sort. It's weird though, like they're in space. I don't know the lore behind this. Amount of what? Oh, kills. Camp your exfil. No, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I thought maybe I could I thought maybe I could get to the pod and shoot them. The thing I'm trying to learn right now is how far to lead the shots from the ship because I have no idea. If I go to the hangar, can I like test out the ship? No. Trade. So I can probably buy this, right? Oh, cool. Nice. I think I have to set a crew because it seems like solo you don't get a queue. Derek, hi. Have you seen Marauders? Of the channel? I actually don't even know how to log into my Twitch channel right now. So I will, but I can't at the moment. It is. I'm very excited. Wait, why is it no longer gaming? Oh, it's searching. Okay, there. We're fine. Yeah, it's like Tarkov, but in space. And what was your also? Or is also the no I haven't? Looks cool. I was dancing earlier. It's Friday the 13th and Jason in Space. Like the games or the movies? I don't know Jason in Space, but that sounds like a fun horror film. Friday the 13th 10. Okay. Cool. I'm impatient. Let me play. I died. It's called Jason X. Cool. How old is it? Is it like recent? Nice. Where is your pad thai from? 2002. That's recent. I need more people to play this game. Earlier, I switched queues and it like let me I switched queues and it let me play pretty quickly. So maybe if I do that again. Thank you. Yeah, I liked that too. It was like transparent. I have it like cut off at the bottom, but that's fine. I just feel like it's good since I'm streaming on like 4 different platforms to have everyone's chat in the corner in case something doesn't translate. So I can edit all the guns. That's cool. Or are these all the guns I have? Oh, those are all the guns I have. Cool. So I can probably buy more, but this is like a lame shop. Offer me more, person. This playtest just started, so there's I'm having trouble finding games at the moment. I think if you have a squad of people, it's like better. But yeah, where's your pad thai from? Oh, I can craft stuff too. Level 3. I guess I probably need money and like levels. Reinforced areas, cool. This is very cool, like all the different options. 1911. So ammo is probably what I'm going to use the most, since I'm going to die with ammo all the time. This isn't very fun. I'll come back later and maybe I'll play some Hunt Showdown for a little bit. Yeah, well, so it just started like at 11. And they're streaming at the moment, like the company is streaming their playthrough of a few raids. So I think it's like and you have to pre-order the game to be able to play the closed alpha, so it's like yeah. But the gameplay is cool comparatively, but I'm going to play Showdown. Yes, I do have Planet Stanley Parable, I think. No, I don't. Wait, maybe it's somewhere. Oops, okay. Okay, bye. Have fun with your pad thai. Thanks for coming. Sorry you didn't get to actually see the game. It's cool though. We should all play if everyone gets it. I will, but I said I can't figure out how to log into Twitch at the moment. Quick play. but I should figure that out soon because it's important. This is Crytek's team doing the music for this. Is it just my internet right now? Nice, we got one. Each rift found earns you one random trait. Trait quality increases with each rift you find. Oh, that's cool. So this is Quick Play has a different gameplay loop. I didn't realize this than Bounty Hunt. I may need to have lunch soon, I think. When I get up off the ground. There's one really close. There's one over there. Ooh, that's a nice knife. That's a bee creature. Oh no, that's the hive? I think there is a bee creature near it. There we go. I need this. I want to take it into... That didn't do any damage to me. I'm surprised. So I'm kind of new to this game, but I have been really enjoying it. This stuff. Heal. I think I gotta go this way. That sounds like a sea creature if I ever heard one. How do I kill those? Okay, I guess that's how. Wait, I want... That's not what I want. That's near me. Hello? I hate that FOV. For sure. I'm gonna die. But it's okay. Fuck. Alright. GG's.